What's up everyone, my name's Alpha and today we're back with another Pokemon challenge video. Today we're on Pokemon We're on Pokemon Omega Ruby, and today's challenge will be, can I beat Pokemon Omega Ruby Hardcore Nuzlocke Steel type shiny Pokemon only. So this is gonna be a really fun one. Steel types are known to be pretty good, but they're very rare as well, so it's gonna be a difficult run through the Hoenn region. But before we get into the whole run and the rules of this challenge video, I want to ask you guys if you guys can leave a like on this video to support the series. If we can aim for 1,000 likes on this video, it'll greatly mean a lot to me and support the series. But anyways, we're on Pokemon Omega Ruby, and today's challenge will be a Hardcore Nuzlocke. Basically, going down the rules, the Nuzlocke being is catching only the first Pokemon you encounter in each route. In our situation, it's going to be the first shiny Steel type Pokemon in each route. And as well, fainting at any point in the run will mean my Pokemon is dead. That is a harsh rule, but it gets harsher because we have to add the hardcore rule sets into it as well. So hardcore rules include, you must play on set mode, which means if you beat an opponent's Pokemon, you cannot switch out automatically. You have to manually switch it when it's your turn again. There are no items inside a battle at all. You can use hell items, but you cannot use bag items such as potions and like ethers and like berries from the bag, but you can use hell items. And there's no over leveling. There is a level cap that we have manually put in the game, which is in the bottom left. As you can see, that level cap goes up each time we get a badge, but this number is equivalent to the gym leader's ace's strongest Pokemon, so we can't go above that before we enter the battle. Now once we're in the battle, if we do happen to gain enough XP to go above the level cap, it is fine, and that's on par of the rules. It's just you cannot enter the battle over the level cap. Now that we got through the rule sets, we want to add a very fun rule into this challenge. Each of my Pokemon will be nicknamed after you guys in the comments. So here are the nicknames I picked up for this challenge video. If you guys want to be nicknamed after a Pokemon in my future challenge videos, just drop it in the comments and hopefully I'll pick yours. And while you're down there, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It would really help it. And let's get into the challenge video itself. Now to start off with, obviously there's no Steel type starter Pokemon in ORAS, so we have to implement our own Steel type Pokemon. And since technically the only Steel type Pokemon we're not going to get in the main story of the game is going to be Beldum, we decided to give ourselves a Beldum as our first Pokemon and give it one of his egg moves as well, Iron Head. I don't think we're going to beat the game with Takedown, so we gave it one useful move that it can get. It's also shiny, obviously, because shiny Steel type challenge. Beldum is giving me our very first Pokemon in the game as we head into the first gym fight of our entire run. The first gym fight that we're going to go into is going to be Roxanne of Rustboro City. She's going to be the rock type gym leader of the game, so I felt confident going into this under level. Beldum is a pseudo legendary, have a high base stat total, but they gain levels very slowly, so it's more hard to train them up. Obviously there's not enough XP or enough trainers around me to get my Beldum up to level 14, but I was confident going to this fight that I can obviously beat Roxanne under level. I am able to knock down her Geodude using 3 Iron Heads, and then her Nosepass comes out next. I am able to knock it out in 3 Iron Heads as well. With Clear Body as my ability, as my natural ability, I don't get a speed drop at all from Rock Tomb, so this is actually perfect. This is a perfect run for me, and Beldum has secured our first gym badge of the game very easily. Next up, we're going to head into Dewford Island. There is a cave on Dewford Island that lets us get another Iron type Pokemon, another Steel type Pokemon. We can get Aeron technically, but there are 3 different Steel type Pokemon in Dewford Cave, 2 of which we cannot get. Malval, Nosepass, which can evolve to Probopass, which is a Steel type. We can get that, but we can't get it right now, so we're going to actually void this encounter for now. We're going to avoid it, and then we're going to go into the next gym of the game. We're going to come back to this cave in a little bit. We don't want Aeron right now. Next up, we're going to head into the second gym of the game. We're going to face off against Brawly. Now, I go through this rant every single time, but Brawly, when I was younger, I feel like this is like a one-to-one like recreation of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, so I don't know why this gym is so easy. I send in my Beldum, he's under level of the level cap, and he 2-shots the Machop, and then Brawly sends out Makuhita, which also gets 2-shotted by a Beldum. This Beldum also has a neutral nature. It doesn't have any beneficial qualities from it, so it's more fair that way. But we really just destroyed Brawly. Now next up, we're going to head up into Slateport City, and past that there is a route for us in Route 10. There is a new encounter for us finally. We can encounter Magnemite in the wild in Horde encounters, and we can just sit here, go through Hordes. If you guys ever watch my X and Y shiny videos, you know Horde encounters are the easiest to find Pokemon, so we're going to use Horde encounters. We did spawn in some honey, just so we could get the Horde encounters a little bit easier. If you guys call me a cheater for that, I'm sorry, I just want to, there's no guarantee I get in Hordes anytime soon. And also Magnemites, if you see them in the wild, they also have Magnum Pole, so I kind of restarted in that, but just look a different way. Look a different way. I am resetting, but you know, just look a different way. It has Magnum Pole. I can't beat all these Magnemites right now. We're gonna finally encounter a shiny Magnemite. Boom, you can see it on the far left. That's actually cool. Are we using, I feel like we just used yeah, we did use Magnemite, Magneton, and Magnezone in our previous electric type run in X and Y, but we encounter a shiny Magnemite, and getting to this fight and catching it is actually more difficult than actually encountering it. As you can see, I get very nervous, very slowly. They're chipping away at my Beldum, and I was afraid I might have to, like, I don't know if I could run away. I think it had Magnum Pole. The shiny Magnemite had Magnum Pole, so I don't think I could have ran away from this. So I had to catch it in the next like 10 turns with my HP being that low. Luckily enough, we do end up catching this Magnemite, and we put it on our team as our second Pokemon of the game. Now next up, we get to head into Mauville City, and in Mauville City, there is a gym for us. This is going to be Watson's gym. We're going to also evolve our Beldum into a Metang. Now Metang has access to some better moves, so we can go back into the Pokemon Mart, and then we're going to buy some TMs for ourselves. These TMs include Bodos and Power Up Punch. Metang is very strong. Metang shiny and Metagross shiny and Beldum shiny are so cool. This is like a perfect shiny. I don't think anyone hates it. If you hate it, let me know in the comments so I could block you and you can never see my videos ever again. But anyways, we go into the third gym of the game where we fight off against Watson. And Watson, I thought, was going to be a little difficult. No, Metang is broken. So we're going to start the battle off against him using my Metang to Power Punch down his Magnemite. We also have a Cherry Berry on Metang to avoid the Thunder Wave coming at us. And then once his Voltorb comes out, it lets us Power Punch twice against it. So we are +4 Metang. So we're easily getting one shot of Magneton. Unfortunately though, it supersonic me and I hit myself in confusion, and then unfortunately it crit me using Volt Switch and it almost knocked me out. Luckily enough though, I survived, and then I broke through confusion and Bodos the Magneton, and we beat Watson. That could have went any other way. Like honestly, we could have lost the run right there, just losing our Metang, our starter Pokemon. Luckily enough, we did end up beating that, and we could go back into Dewford Island. Finally, we have access to Rock Smash, and we could go into the basement floor of Dewford Cave, where we're able to Rock Smash into these rocks, and there's a like a 60%, 40% chance of getting ourselves a Nose Pass in these rocks instead of a Geodude. And we're gonna have to grind these for a little bit. Luckily enough, we are encountering more Nose Passes than WoW encounters in here, so we're actually not gonna encounter any shiny Pokemon, hopefully, besides Nose Pass. It takes a little bit because Nose Pass is not a guaranteed encounter at all, but we're able to find ourselves a shiny gold Nose Pass. That's actually pretty cool. Nose Pass, really decent shiny they made, and we're gonna end up catching it and putting it on our team. Now we're not done shiny hunting just yet, as we go up into the route right before Fall Arbor Town, where we're going to find ourselves a Skarmory. We put Magnemite up in front because it has Magnum Pole, and its out of battle effect attracts more Steel type to be encountered. So it's not guaranteed to get a Skarmory, but it makes it easier. This actually sped up our shiny hunt, and we find ourselves a shiny Skarmory in the wild, and we're also going to put it on our team. Almost knocked it out on accident with a Thunder Shock, but look away from that. We can catch the Skarmory, put it on our team, and now we can move on to the story. I forgot to mention again, the shiny odds have been improved and modified to 1 in 1,500. That's why I'm getting shinies so easily and quickly compared to 1 in 9 billion. So that's why I'm getting shinies easier. If you guys are wondering that, I am shiny hunting for them. It's just improved odds. Just think of it as in I have 3 shiny charms, and it's just a little quicker. It's still difficult, but it's still a little quicker than normal shiny hunting. Anyways, we're gonna move on into the story. We're gonna beat down Maxie on top of Mount Chimney. Our Metang goes crazy here. Look at this. It just beats down everything. Luckily, we don't pass the level 28 mark here and disqualify Metang from the next gym fight. So luckily, I could face off against Flannery in Lava Ridge Town and start the battle against her using my Skarmory. Now, my plan here was, firstly, everything's weak to Fire type. I have some of my Nose Pass, which I can't use Nose Pass right now because it's not a Steel type. So we have to try to sand attack down the Slugma to avoid all the overheats and then set up against it. Unfortunately, it hits me with the first overheat, so I panic here. I went to my Magnemite, and then I'm able to survive an overheat. So I decided to switch into my Metang. Luckily, it dodges the next overheat, and I'm able to Power Punch it to its face. It sets up Light Screen, so I get 2 Power Punches for free, so I'm +2. Torkoal comes out next. I have a Soft Stand on my Metang, so I'm able to Bodos. He sets up Sunny Day, the Torkoal did, and then I'm able to Bodos again and then beat the Torkoal. I don't know why I did that. So we got a free gym badge from that because the Torkoal just set up Sunny Day for no reason. Maybe I could have survived one. I doubt it. Metang's not that crazy of a tank, especially Torkoal with Overheat, which is like 140 power. I don't think I would have survived that, but luckily it did not go for Overheat, and I'm able to with Bulldoze and knock out Flannery. And we get the 4th gym badge of the game. Next up, we're going to face off against Norman. Norman is going to be the Norm type gym leader in the game, also the 5th gym leader of the game. We finally got a Magneton on our team, and we're going to start the battle against him using our Skarmory. Now Skarmory is going to try to chip down the Slacking. It's not really working too well, so I set up spikes to get some improved like damage over time, because you know, some chip damage goes a long way. I decided to go out to my Magneton so I could Volt Switch. I end up doing a lot to the Slacking, and I'm able to power punch it to his face and try to build up some momentum. I decided to stay in using my Metang against the Slacking because I assume I could just wake up eventually and then get it done. He does have Fan Attack, so I need to wake up soon so he doesn't knock me out. Luckily, I knocked out his first Slacking. Unfortunately, his Vigoroth also has Fan Attack, so I am going down to low HP. He also crit me. That's annoying. But I'm able to one-shot down the Vigoroth. I'm not going to risk my Metang here, obviously. So I went back into my Skarmory. Take any Fan Attacks or anything. I decided to chip him down using my Skarmory to the point where I could send him my Magneton. I risked it here because I knew he was going to be Truant. I wanted to get some more chip damage. It did not work. The Swagger hit me, obviously. So I went into my Magneton to try to attack twice on the Slacking to knock him out, and luckily it worked out. And we beat Norman without too much trouble. I mean, Metang almost went down again. I'm really risking it. But from there, though, we have access to Surf, and now we can use Surf to do multiple things. We first go out and get this rare candy, which can be useful because we can go into New Marvel. Now, we don't have access to the whole dungeon in New Marvel, but we're able to find ourselves some wild Pokemon here and train up our Magneton into a Magnezone, and also evolve our Nosepass into a Probopass just from the entrance area of New Marvel. So now we have 4 Pokemon on our team, including the Probopass we finally. This works for our benefit as we head into Winona's gym. Winona's going to be the flying type gym leader of the game, so it shouldn't be too hard. We're going to start the battle off against her using my Magnezone. We're going to Volt Switch into the Swallow, just knock it out in one shot. Super easy. I should have got Charge Beam thinking back to it. It's too late now, but she can send out her Altaria next. I do have Sturdy on my Probopass, but obviously I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to Rock Tomb into the Altaria using my Skarmory. This was a poorly planned plan. I'm just going to chip it down to where it wants to heal, and then I can switch out into my Magnezone. From all the Rock Tombs I did, it's going to be so slow that my Magnezone can outspeed the Altaria, so I could both switch into my Skarmory and avoid the Earthquake and do a lot of damage to it on the same turn. I just hopefully cannot get paralyzed using Dragon Breath. That's what I was so scared about this entire run. I was like, ooh, this battle looking pretty good. I don't know. I've just got to be very careful. Luckily, eventually, if I chip it down enough, it's going to run out of Roost. Yeah, this entire battle, we stalled it out of Roost, and we're able to both switch into it and knock out the Altaria finally, and we can move on. Her next Pokemon is going to be a Pelipper. I switch my Skarmory out into my Magnezone to both switch again to knock out the Pelipper, and then her final Pokemon will be a Skarmory, which I send on my Probopass to discharge twice to knock it out, obviously, and we end up beating Winona for the 6th gym badge of the game. From there, though, we're going to move on into Tantaliza's gym. I mean, just gyms back to back to back. We're going to face out against Tantaliza. Tantaliza is going to start off the battle off against us using a Solrock and a Lunatone. We're going to use our Metagross. Metagross is just so broken. We're going to Meteor Mash into the Solrock and also Flash Cannon into the Lunatone. We end up knocking out the Solrock in one shot and also the Lunatone in one shot. This Steel team is going crazy right now. Steel type might be the best typing in the entire game. They also have some of the coolest shinies. As we move on, and we're going to face off against Maxie. Maxie gets demolished by this Metagross. Unfortunately, Metagross is going to go over the level cap. Well, the level cap should be at 46 now. There we go. I fixed it. The level cap is at 46 though, but it's most likely you're going to get to 47 by the end of all this. Unfortunately, Metagross is disqualified from going into the next gym fight, which is fine. We don't need Metagross for the next gym fight, but we do need Metagross against the next boss, which is going to be Mawile. No, Mawile is going to be the next Pokemon we hunt, though. Mawile is going to be our only Steel-type encounter in this cave. I think it's the Cave of Origins, so we're going to spend a little time here and find ourselves a Mawile. Luckily, it's a common encounter, so we find ourselves a shiny Mawile. It has Intimidate, though, so it doesn't have huge power. Wait, does it have huge power? I don't think it has huge power naturally. I think it has Hypercutter or Intimidate, so it actually is the best ability. So we catch ourselves a shiny Mawile. Takes a little bit though because I only have a Pokeball, but we catch it, and then we can move on into the big bad Primal boss. We face off against Primal Groudon. Groudon is going to be quite difficult to face off against because for Steel types, both his stat moves, Lava Plume, and all his ground moves, Earthquake and Precipice Blades, are super effective to all my Pokemon. So I sent out my sturdy Pokemon in Probopass first. He went for an Earthquake first turn. So I hit it with an Earth Power, doesn't do anything. So I was like, oh, this is not looking great. So I sent in my Skarmory next. I did not teach it Toxic. I should have taught it Toxic. It went to sleep though, so that's something. I took disadvantage, and then I went into my Metagross, and luckily Metagross, I taught it Earthquake, and I outspeed the Groudon, so I'm able to get an Earthquake off against it while it still stays asleep. And then I outspeed and knock out the Groudon, which is amazing. Okay, we beat Groudon. I mean, that's so simple. Well, now since Metagross has hit level 47 in that mini boss fight, we're not going to be able to use it in the next gym, but that shouldn't be a problem as we face off against Wallace in the 8th gym of the game. We're going to start with the battle against Wallace using our Magnet Zone. He finally has Discharge, so we're able to discharge into the Love to knock him out in one shot. He sends out his Whiscash next, which I'm like, okay, I'm sending my Skarmory. Skarmory is able to fly, two-shot him with a little bit of help. I need some chip damage. He doesn't do half exactly, so I need to Metal Claw him and then knock him out using Fly again. Once the Whiscash goes down, I also set up all the spikes I could against him. Switch out into Hermalitic next. I switch out into my Magnet Zone. He gets hit with a Hydro Pump, which I don't really like. So luckily enough, I discharged it. I was hoping, I was praying I could live it. Strong chance I could live it, but also could be a roll where she just knocked me out. So luckily Magnet Zone just discharged the Hermalitic and just knocked it out. So we don't have to worry about that at all. And then she sends out her Celio, which will get one-shotted to this face. And the Seeking, it gets one-shot to this face. So we end up beating Wallace. Kind of got scared with the Hydro Pump, but it should be fine. We end up getting all the 8 gym badges of the game, and now we can move on into Victory Road. Now in Victory Road, there is one final encounter for us. There is a Lairon in here. You know that Aeron that we didn't get in Dewford Cave? There is a second encounter that we could get a Lairon in Victory Road. So we're able to get ourselves a Lairon as our 6th and final Pokemon of the game, which is amazing for us. We're going to catch ourselves a shiny Lairon, and look at that. Such a beautiful shiny. All my shinies are pretty good. Probably the ugliest one is Skarmory. That's probably most choices, but everyone is pretty good, like pretty good looking. Pause. I caught the shiny Lairon and put it on my team, and now we can move on into clearing through Victory Road. We cleared through Wally really easily. This team is just like a standard team at this point. It's not a standard team, but like they're pretty good. Like, you know, they're pretty strong. They're probably stronger than most like average teams that play through ORAS. I'm not gonna lie. But from there though, we're gonna go into Route 118 before heading to the Elite Four and getting ourselves a Mega Stone for our Mawile. So we got the Mawile. It can Mega Evolve whenever we want and get huge power, which is going to be ridiculous. We're going to show it off soon. Anyways, we're going to head into the Pokemon League and then face off against the Elite Four. The first challenge for us is going to be Sydney of the Elite Four. He's going to be the Dark-type Elite Four member of the game, and we're going to start the battle off against him using our Magnet Zone. Now, Magnet Zone is going to destroy the Mightyena, as you see. It actually does live with 1 HP and gets paralyzed, but you have to heal up, obviously. So then I end up knocking him out using a Flash Cannon anyway, so it didn't matter. He switched out to a Sharpedo, which gets a hit off of me, but he'll get discharged and get knocked out. His next Pokemon is going to be Absol, which gets one-shotted as well. All my Pokemon are really good, apparently. I don't one-shot the Shift Shriek, but I'm able to two-shot it. It should have Brick Break, or some coverage move at least. And then his final Pokemon will be a Cacturne, which I'm able to Flash Cannon and knock him out. And we easily defeat Sydney. Next up, we're going to go into the next Elite Four fight. We're going to face off against Phoebe. Phoebe's going to be the Ghost-type Elite Four member, and we're going to start the battle off against her using our Mawile. Now, Mawile, I forgot, its Crunch move that it learns naturally, I got rid of it. So I have to Sucker Punch into it. Luckily, it did go for a move, and I one-shot it using Sucker Punch. I also one-shot Dusknoir. As you see, just beat it down. So kind of broken. It was OU when this game was out, so I could see why it was broken. I'm going to Iron Head into the Bayonet to knock him out. Even through it's burned and is able to almost one-shot the Bayonet. That is crazy power. It one-shots him with Play Rough. I only have to switch out because I'm getting low on HP, but it one-shot with Play Rough through burn. That is powerful. I sent on my Aggron. Unfortunately, Aggron is useless. I didn't even teach it Earthquake. I don't know why. I for real just did not teach it anything. Luckily, it one-shotted the Bayonet on his last leg though. And then the Sableye comes out next. I'm obviously going to switch out into my Magnet Zone to knock out the Sableye. And we end up beating Phoebe without any issues at all. And next up, we're going to face off against Glacia. Glacia is going to be the Ice-type Elite Four member of the game. We're going to start the battle off against her using my Magnet Zone. We're going to Flash Cannon into it and knock it out in one shot. Fairly simple. Walrein comes out next. I'm able to discharge to one-shot it. And, you know, this you can see where it goes downhill for her. Faced off against a full Steel team. There's no way she's gonna win. Both the Frostlasses go down back to back. I get confused. It's okay. Flash Cannon knocked it out. And then final Pokemon will be a Glalie. It should really get Earthquake, but it protects itself for one turn, and then I knock it out. So we end up beating Glacia in like 2 minutes. I think it's my recording. Yeah, a minute and a half. I beat Glacia in. So that's crazy. Anyways, we're gonna face off against Drake next. Drake is going to be the Dragon type Elite Four member. We're gonna start a battle off against her using my Magnemite. I thought it's gonna have a Shogun, which I forgot it doesn't. So I'm just gonna Power Punch into the Altaria anyways. I mean, it's getting Dragon Pulse me, so why not just Power Punch into it? So I end up Power Punching Iron Head, knocks him out in one shot. He sends out into his flygon. I outspeed it obviously, so I'm gonna Meter Mash it and knock him out and get an attack raise as well. Sends out another flygon, Meter Mash it to his face, and then sends out his Salamence. And this also pseudo legendary is going to get beat down with my Meter Mash, and we knocked out. Oh wait, his final Pokemon is going to be a Kingdra. I don't think this Kingdra is going to do anything. So I end up outspeeding it and then Zen headbutting. It could have missed, and I could have lost my Metagross, but we risk it. We knock out Kingdra and we beat Drake. And next up, we move on into the next Elite Four member. We're going to face off against Steven Stone. Steven Stone is going to be the champion of Hoenn, obviously, so it's going to be quite difficult. He's going to start the battle off against us using a Skarmory. I'm going to go into my Magnezone to discharge, paralyze him, and then stop him from ever using any hazards or anything against me. So we end up knocking out the Skarmory very easily with a Volt Switch. And then we go into my Mawile against the Aggron. I do not like this matchup. He's going to beat me down, obviously. So I decided to switch out into my Skarmory. Skarmory is going to break its sturdy, obviously. Well, set up spikes first. I chose not to break its sturdy. I decided to set up spikes and then switch out to my Magnezone because I know it's going to Stone Edge me. I switch out to my Magnezone to bait in the Earthquake against me. I go back into my Skarmory and then repeat the process. Go into my Magnezone once again. I'm able to knock out the Aggron without any issues at all. So, okay. Pretty good. Next up, his next Pokemon will be a Clado. So I switched out into my Silver and Gold monster Metagross. I'm going to Meter Mash into it and then get an attack boost and then disregard that it's just set up a Reflect. I didn't know I set up a Reflect. I Meter Mash into the Armaldo and knocks it out in one shot. It sends out his Cradily. I one-shot it to his face. Well, kind of. It confused me and then I Meter Mash it to his face. It's going to live it, which is lucky for it. Then I hit myself. I mean, at least the Reflect is gone now, so I can Power Punch into it. And now I can knock him out using Meter Mash. And then his final Pokemon is going to be a Mega Metagross. Unfortunately for him, I have Earthquake and I outspeed him. Even though he's a few levels higher than me, I'm able to one-shot the Metagross and we end up beating Steven Stone. We end up beating the entire challenge without a death. Wait a second. I think this is my first deathless run. Wait. Hey! We completed our first hardcore Nuzlocke without any deaths, I think. I'm not too sure. I think this is my first deathless run. But we ended up beating the challenge anyways. Very easy challenge. My takeaway from this is that steel types are very broken, they look very cool, and are super strong. What are your guys' takeaway from this? If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like and comment down below some challenge ideas just like this one and some nicknames, and subscribe if you guys are not already. It'll greatly help my channel. My name's been Alpha. Hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching all the way to the end, and I'm out. Peace.